Greetings and welcome to newszimbabwe.com news. I am Makanaka Masenyama. Stories making the headlines. More than 740,000 young Zimbabwean women living with HIV. In the courts, MDC councillor dragged to court facing Mnangagwa insult charges. In business, Econet solar power plant to supply entities 45% energy needs. And in sports, platinum teams cut Big 3 dominance in top flight league. Now the news in greater detail. At least 740,000 Zimbabwean women of between 15 and 24 years of age are living with HIV, making the country third highest HIV burdened in the SADC region. This was revealed by a United Nations program on HIV and AIDS report, which also placed South Africa as the highest, with 4.4 million young women living with the condition. Mozambique is second with 1.3 million. The latest UN AIDS, HIV and Women report released this week show that the reasons behind these figures vary and are complex. These include the existence of high levels of transactional sex and age-desperate sexual relationships that are blamed for the HIV vulnerability of young women. The government says 98% of roads which were destroyed by Cyclone Idai in parts of Manicaland last month have temporarily been restored to allow access to affected areas. Transport Minister Joe Bigimatiza said this week this was a temporary measure as government is sourcing for more revenue to fix the roads and bridges permanently. Chimanimani district was worst affected by the natural catastrophe. In the courts, MDC's Bindura Ward 3 councillor Brian Campbell was this week dragged to court on charges of disorderly conduct after he allegedly blamed President Emmerson Mnangagwa for the country's economic crisis and high levels of stress among Zimbabweans. His case was postponed to allow prosecutors to scrutinize the offense and see whether to proceed with trial or by way of summons. Campbell is alleged to have boarded a commuter omnibus in October last year in Bindura and was overheard blaming Mnangagwa for failing to deal with an economic crisis that has been characterized by continued price increases and a shortage of basic commodities. Still in the courts, 4 ZANU-PF activists based in Masvingo have been jailed 15 days each for public violence. The 4, who are between the ages of 28 and 37, are accused of going on a rampage recently, blocking roads while demanding transport operators who ply routes to their homes to reduce fares. They are Trust Chiturumani, Shepherd Jimu, Ivon Jeke, and Mashoko Buranda. However, the group was given the option of paying $100 RTGS fine each in place of serving their prison sentences. Masvingo Magistrate Langton Ndokera presided over the matter. In business, telecoms giant Econet's newly commissioned solar plant in Harare's Willowville area is set to meet 45% of the entity's electricity needs. In a statement, Econet said the solar plant was engineered and designed by Distributed Power Africa in line with the company's commitment towards the adoption of clean and renewable energy in the country. Econet is now serving between 10 and 15% of its traditional electricity consumption through adopting the use of the grid-connected solar system with panels installed on rooftops and car parks of its premises. We shall be taking a short break. We'll be back soon.
I joined Diaspora Funeral Police when my father passed away. Without them, I don't know where I could have started with all the things I covered for the funeral. For me, to be honest, Diaspora Cash Plan, it was very easy good transaction. It was only a matter of a phone call. Then they said they would do everything the rest. To be honest, by end of the day, I got the settlement.
We end with sports. Former Dynamos, Highlanders and Caps United midfielder Steven Almenda says the so-called Big Three teams shall have it tough to restore their dominance on local football for as long as the two well-financed platinum teams exist. Almenda, one of the few players in local football to have played for the three, was speaking on New Zim TV's Sports Check this week.
Mukatara maplatinum aka achatonetsa kutomboisa because vari kwanisa kutenga player vanongaita yanenge vachida yese inenge chinzi yakadziya cheche vanokwanisa kuita kuitora.
The big three, as Almenda put it, have been struggling financially over the years, and their performance has been overtaken by FC Platinum and Ngeze Platinum, who have invaded top-flight football, splashing money and acquiring the best players around. Despite being the best supported teams in terms of crowds, Dynamos, Highlanders and Caps United are poorly financed. To end this news bulletin, here's a recap of headlines once more. More than 740,000 young Zimbabwean women living with HIV. In the courts, MDC councillor dragged to court facing Mnangagwa insult charges. In business, Econet solar power plant to supply entities 45% energy needs. And in sports, platinum teams cut Big Three dominance in top flight league. Reporting for newszimbabwe.com, I am Makanaka Masenyama. For this and more stories, do visit our website www.newszimbabwe.com and our YouTube channel, Newzim TV.